Hey, fifth grade. Here's your introduction to the flat 7. So, to figure out the flat 7, you first have to make sure you're really clear what a flat does. So we're going to start real quick with a quick review on flats and sharps. So a flat looks like this. It's like a little B, and it takes your whatever note it's in front of down a half step. And a sharp, which looks like a hashtag sign, takes it up a half step. So for our purposes today, we're only going to be focusing really on flats. So if you remember when we looked at our scales and we, instead of using do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, we used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is what this flat 7 is talking about. So we got to start with our C scale, which I have written right here. I wrote it both in our treble clef and our bass clef. So C is down here, it's on the 1, 2 is D, 3 is E, 4 is F, 5 is G, 6 is A, 7 is B, and 8 is C. And I went ahead and just outlined our triad chords that we've been talking about so far in our review. Our C chord is outlined with C, E, and G with the red for our 1 chord. Our 4 chord is F, A, and C for our F chord on the 4. And our 5 chord is G, B, and D for our G chord. So when we take a look at these different chords, we have to remember how we number them for our scale. So for a C chord, C would be 1, right? And then we're going to skip that D and go to E, which is our 3 in the scale. And then we're going to skip the F and go to the G. So we have these 3 notes in our C chord, C, E, and G. And that's 1, 3, and 5. Now to add that flat 7, we have to add the 7, which is our B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then make it flat. So to do that, we would add a little flat sign to it, and it would change from a B natural to a B flat. And then we'd add that on top of our chord on the flat 7. So that would be our C7 chord. Now we do the same for all the other chords. For our F chord, F in the key of F is 1. And then we'd skip the 2, go to our 3, skip the 4, go to our 5 and add it. And then in the key of F, E is our 7. So we do the same thing for our F chord. We take our normal F chord, F, A, C, add the E, and make it flat. And then add it to our chord. That's your flat 7. Last one we'll do is our G chord, which would normally be our 5 chord in the key of C. So for G, add our G, our B, our D, and then 7 would be our 7th note in our G chord. And we would add a flat to this. Now, if you notice, F is already sharp for our scale in the key of G. So if we add a flat to that, what that does is those two cancel each other out. So this actually becomes an F natural. And we add the F natural. So we have our 1, our 3, our 5, and our 7. And that's the only one that would be natural because the F flat and the sharp cancel each other out and become a normal F. So that's your basic introduction to your 7 chords, especially the flat 7. And these are what we typically use when we play the blues. Most blues song, that blue note is actually the flat note, the flat 7. That's what they used to call it. So there you go. All right, see you later, guys.